Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are going on a fascinating journey, a deep dive into the rules that run our world. We're going to start with the biggest rules of all, the cosmic laws holding galaxies together, and we'll bring it all the way down to the personal rules you and I use to make choices every single day. And really, it all comes down to this one big question, right? Are you the one writing your life story, or are you just a character following a script that's already been written? We're going to explore that exact tension, the push and pull between the scripts we're given and the incredible power we have to write our own.
All right, so let's kick things off at the grandest scale you can possibly imagine, the fundamental operating system of reality itself. Yeah, we're talking about the unwritten, unbreakable laws that govern every single atom and every distant star.
So, what do we actually mean when we say the laws of the universe? Well, you can think of them like the source code for everything. They are the basic instructions for how matter and energy behave, and the amazing part is, we believe they are exactly the same everywhere, from inside your coffee cup to the edge of a black hole. Now, what's so cool about this is the sheer range of these principles. You've got these big philosophical ideas like cause and effect, the classic, for every action, there's a reaction. But then on the flip side, you have the hardcore physics of the strong force, which is basically this unbelievably powerful glue that follows a very precise set of rules to hold the very fabric of matter together. And this slide, it illustrates a super important point. Our understanding of these rules is not set in stone. For hundreds of years, everyone thought Newtonian physics was the final word, but there was this one nagging problem. It couldn't perfectly explain the weird, wobbly orbit of Mercury. Then along came Einstein's relativity, which nailed it, proving that even our grasp on the universe's most fundamental rules has to evolve as we learn more. So, if our understanding of cosmic laws can change, what about the rules we humans write for ourselves? Let's zoom in from the vastness of the universe to our own society and take a look at the messy, complicated rules we create, and what happens when they totally break down. Honestly, there is no better example of man-made rules failing spectacularly than the 2008 financial crisis. The whole system, built on a specific set of regulations, just buckled under the pressure. It forced a frantic, worldwide scramble to completely rewrite the financial playbook. One of the biggest flaws that the crisis laid bare was this idea of moral hazard. See, the safety nets that were supposed to protect the system, they actually encouraged some to take insane risks. Why? Because they knew that if their bets went south, it would be the taxpayers who'd have to pay the bill. The rules themselves were part of the problem. And the cost, it was just staggering. At its absolute peak in 2009, the government support given to financial institutions across the European Union was about 11% of their entire economic output for the year. I mean, just think about that. That's the massive scale of the rescue operation you need when the rules completely fail. So what happened next? A huge regulatory overhaul. You could say the old rules were like building a house with flimsy walls. The new rules, like Basel III, were designed to reinforce the entire structure, forcing banks to have way more cash on hand and creating clear plans for what to do if one of the too-big-to-fail giants started to wobble. Okay, so we've seen how human rules can fail and be rewritten. But what happens when the system in trouble isn't financial but biological? What happens when the ancient, powerful rules of evolution start to outsmart one of our greatest medical inventions? This quote, wow, it really hits hard, doesn't it? It's from the autobiography of Srivatsa, and it frames this growing crisis of antibiotic resistance perfectly. It's a battle where our rulebook for fighting bacteria is becoming useless, and the enemy, well, it's getting stronger every single day. And here's the terrifying part. This isn't just random bad luck. It's literally evolution on fast forward, and we're the ones pushing the accelerator. Every time we overuse antibiotics, we're basically creating the perfect training ground for the toughest bacteria to survive, multiply, and even share their resistance genes with others. And that's how we get superbugs. So, to deal with this crisis, some people are proposing a whole new set of rules for how we approach healthcare. For instance, our sources mention a concept called the Dr. Maya system. The core idea is to empower people with the knowledge to make better decisions from home. That way, you reduce unnecessary doctor visits, which in turn could slow the spread of infections and cut down on the overuse of antibiotics. So we've gone from the cosmos to society to our own biology. Now let's go to the most intimate, most mysterious rulebook of all, the one that's running inside your head. The real question is, are you in charge, or is something else pulling the strings?
This, right here, is one of the oldest and biggest debates in philosophy. Do we really have free will? That sense that our choices are truly up to us? Or is every single choice we make just the inevitable result of everything that came before it? Like the final domino in a chain that started with the Big Bang.
Let's make this really personal for a second. The determinist argument basically says your mind is just a physical machine. Your thoughts, your feelings, your big decisions, they're all just incredibly complex chemical reactions. And if that's true, well, aren't they bound by the same unbreakable laws of physics as everything else in the universe? But here's where it gets really interesting, because neuroscience offers a fascinating twist. It suggests that maybe we're not just passive victims of our brain's chemistry. We can actually hack our own system. This quote talks about a technique where you deliberately overload yourself to raise your stress tolerance. Think about it. By doing that, you're not just following the rules of your mind, you're actively rewriting them to expand what you're capable of. And that brings us to our final and maybe most important stop on this journey. If the universe's rules are fixed, society's rules can be broken, and your mind's rules can be rewritten, then who decides what code you're actually going to live by? Ultimately, it seems like we're always caught in this tug of war. On one side, you've got external authority, the laws of your country, the policies at your job, the unspoken rules of society. And on the other side, you've got your inner authority, that gut feeling, your conscience, the quiet voice that tells you what feels right, even if the official rulebook says it's wrong. So we end right back where we started, with you. We've seen rules operating on every level imaginable, from the cosmic and the societal to the deeply personal. Some are rigid, some can evolve, and some can fail spectacularly. So in this incredibly complex world, with all these rules crashing into each other, which ones do you follow? And more importantly, what is the one rule that you and you alone choose to live by?